Without a doubt, the two hottest prospects entering the 2020 NBA draft are Anthony Edwards and James Wiseman. As it stands, Edwards edges out Wiseman on most people's mock draft, but the gap is so close both players could easily be drafted at either 1 or 2. The latest franchise to be impressed by both players is the former NBA champion, the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors were originally blown away when watching international prospect Deni Avdija in Atlanta, as they continue to do their homework on the draft class ahead of the season in which they are looking forward to rejoin the elites of the West. Following the workout of Avdija, the Warriors described both Edwards and Wiseman as beasts, as they got a glimpse of both youngsters. Their workout was in front of the Warriors head coach Steve Kerr, general manager Bob Myers, and owner Joe Lacob. According to Marcus Thompson of The Athletic, both players gave the Warriors confidence in selecting them at the number 2 spot. They did see something on this road trip that would make them just fine with making a selection at the number 2. Two somethings actually. Anthony Edwards, James Wiseman. I put them in alphabetical order, so don't get ahead of yourselves. Words of the workout is that both of them were beasts. Wiseman put on a great showing on the court, and it made a great impression in the interview and the conversation process as well. Wiseman is as big and skilled as advertised. They also liked him when they had the conversation/interview or whatever it was. Wiseman may have only featured 3 times in college for Memphis, but his showing confirmed his status as one of the very best players in the upcoming 2020 NBA draft. During his 3-game stretch, he averaged 19.7 points, 10.7 rebounds, and 3 blocks per game. He connected on an astounding 76.9% of his field goal attempts and recovered a double-double in each contest. Edwards has a bigger sample size in college. It's probably the sole reason why most people have him slightly ahead of Wiseman on their draft board. Edwards earned SEC Freshman of the Year honors as he averaged 19.1 points, 5.2 boards, and 2.8 assists for the Bulldogs. His numbers don't necessarily jump off the page, but considering he's just 19 years old, the upside is insanely high. But Edwards' athletic ability really stood out from the crowd. His explosiveness to the rim and potential to grow in a production wing on the next level confirms the feeling he will likely go number 1. The Minnesota Timberwolves hold the first overall pick on draft night, and if by some chance they pass on Edwards and Wiseman, the Warriors will have a difficult decision to make. Anything can happen on the evening, and the chances of it occurring increases considering point guard LaMelo Ball is arguably the most natural fit of all of these players. Nevertheless, it's unlike the Timberwolves select Ball considering they have former All-Star D'Angelo Russell occupying his position. If that's the case, they'll look to either Edwards or Wiseman, and the decision could be made on who fits with the roster more comfortably, not necessarily who is the better player. Edwards would offer the Wolves a truly talented wing to replace the production of Andrew Wiggins left behind when he was traded to the Golden State Warriors last season. Whereas Wiseman's arrival alongside talented big man Karl Anthony Towns has the making of the potentially being the best frontcourt in the league someday. In today's NBA landscape, it's likely the Wolves will go with Edwards considering every team is trying to go smaller and play with more pace. In a league that continues to move forward with the 3-point shooting and playing in transition, Edwards' arrival becomes an attractive option. It's also noteworthy that the league is dominated by gifted wing players, and nowadays having one is also a prerequisite to a successful team. You need a matchup for guys like LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George if you happen to meet them in the playoffs, and these little factors matter in the big picture. The current NBA environment is catered to versatile wings who play both ends, and to have one of the league's best wingmen on your roster automatically puts you in playoff contention. It's yet to be seen on whether Edwards can truly reach those heights, but the possibility of him getting there may be too tempting to pass on. As for the Warriors, the Timberwolves' decision may directly affect theirs, but being left with Wiseman could be the best scenario regardless. They already have a staggering caliber small forward in Andrew Wiggins, and Wiseman will give the roster balance it's never had even during the title runs. They fielded the shortest team in the association last season, and Wiseman's arrival would provide much needed size at the rim. In a team that relies so heavily on backcourt scoring, Wiseman would relieve pressure off of Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson as a genuine scoring option around the basket. He would also suit up with former Defensive Player of the Year Draymond Green, and considering Wiseman's potential defensively, the pair could quickly become one of the league's most suffocating front court duos. Even as they won 3 rings in 5 seasons between 2015 and 2019, the Warriors never had a scoring threat at the center position. Obtaining Wiseman's services may also be a factor when considering who the Warriors might have to get through in the West in order to win again. With the Lakers acquiring Anthony Davis, who balled out en route to an NBA championships in his first campaign, teams around the league will need to match in centers in order for them to make it to the next round when it matters most. Wiseman could be that guy if they happen to meet in the postseason, and he and Green could take turns trying to slow Davis down. Given what both players bring to the table, it's likely their selection as either 1 or 2 will be based on what the Timberwolves and Warriors need the most. It's hard to determine which prospect is the better player, considering they have completely different games, and both 19 years old are likely to be the stars in the league one day. So, if it was up to you, who would you take at number 1? Anthony Edwards or James Wiseman? Let us know in the comments below. Check out some of these videos that appear on your screen.